Wardrobe sponsored by Charmaine Freeman Designs.
Good evening, welcome to the Sharmark Show. I am your host, Sharmark Leo, and this evening we have Tiffany Edison from Ikonique, the brand. You must be wondering what's Ikonique. I guess this is the reason Tiffany is here. Good evening.
Good evening, Sharmark.
How are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
I am wonderful. I must say the name of your business, it really stands out. So tell us, Tiffany, who's Tiffany?
Well, Tiffany, me. I am a 28-year-old mom. I am also a full brand entrepreneur. I do customized jewelry, accessories, all handmade, all natural. But I also dabble in graphic design, sales and marketing, and social media. So when it comes to a one-woman Ikonique show, that is me.
Wow, you're like a karate master. You have the black belt. You have everything.
Yes, everything.
Wonderful. So how did you come up with the name Ikonique? I think it really rings a bell. It's very catchy. It sounds very international. Why Ikonique?
Thank you. Well, Ikonique, honestly, it was a quick rebrand for me. But the original backstory was I did have a brand called Coco Rosé, and that went downhill. So I had to come up with a name that still kept the essence of Coco Rosé, but gave something more of a luxury, something timeless. So I initially went with a couple of other ideas, but I came on Ikonique to keep the KO in the name as a representation of the old brand Coco Rosé, and still give you something unique, which is the way the Conic, the Queek. Nice. So, it's iconically unique.
So in case somebody is looking at the show right now, what does Ikonique do? What kind of business is it? What does the brand carry?
Okay, so the brand carries handmade jewelry and accessories. We try our best to use natural stones and natural materials. We also do a lot of stainless steel jewelry enhanced with customization, key rings, waist chains, the full glam kit, we have that, as well as curated gifts for any occasion.
Nice. What makes Ikonique stand? Because I mean, I've interviewed a few persons that does jewelry with the beads and stuff. What makes your brand stands out?
Well, for me, I try to keep Ikonique as it is, make you an icon. So all my jewelry, it is fully customizable. It's something that is unique to the wearer. So you have full access as to color, design. Once I'm able to do it, I get it to you. If not, we come up with a new creation. I tend to not repeat designs. I like that it's something that is one of a kind. So it makes you unique, it makes you iconic.
So is it a situation where you have a consultation with the client before you start to produce?
Yes, for sure. We always have a consultation. I want to get to know you as a client or whoever is being gifted, so that way they get something that they would truly wear. So it's not just I thought of you, so here you go. It's I thought of you and this is what you represent to me as a piece.
Are you getting the results that you want?
Okay, for me, I get the results. I was expecting a lot of my clientele to be the younger folk like myself who likes the jewelry, but it has become unique that the older persons, they're the ones who really love to rock. They like the customization, the unique colors that they can basically express themselves. Something that is not just fashion, but with the longevity, because we do try to attain sustainability in our jewelry, so something that can live and be passed on, basically.
Nice. Well, my sister, if that kind of name you have, the Ikonique, if you not live it, you have a problem. Because the name itself it sells itself. Yeah. How long have you been in business?
So we will be in business as of 3 years as of August this year.
Oh, nice. Congratulations with that.
Thank you.
Where did the inspiration come out for the business? How did you come up with that whole Ikonique and the jewelry and stuff like that? Where did it all stem from?
Well, actually for me, as most persons, it was a COVID baby. I was bored at home and I'm here like, hey, I have all of these resources. I have time on my hand. Let's see what can happen. I started off with some simple jewelry, posted it like, hey, I like this. I'm like, okay, how can I make this something more? Something that's more me, not something that's just, here it is, here you go. So I took some time to brand and see what the market was like, what people actually liked. And I said, hey, we can build something out of this and make it something more than just the regular.
Oh, nice. Wow. So when you started, you did your first piece, you posted and stuff like that. You decided you can make a business out of it. You got a good
Yes.
feedback out of it.
Yes, I did. And for me, I've always wanted to be somewhat into the creative field. So I remember vividly when when I was at school, Leon Hess to be specific. So I wanted to create a creative art studio where everyone with all different walks of life could show their creativeness. Because for me, I believe we don't have that level of exploration in St. Lucia. We stick mostly to either the music or the sports, but there are other creativity. So I said, hey, how can I make this into a business? And my main focus for it was more, I have a cousin who passed away and he was also a creative. So my
Nice.
thing has always been, how can I embody him or keep his legacy alive?
I like that.
So I always wanted to incorporate him in some way. So even within the names, I have some of his initials in there, some of my branding for my products, things I knew that he would have liked. I have his name as the legacy for those products.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Sorry for your loss. That's good. I think that's very inspirational and very touching. And I think wherever your cousin is right now, I think you might respect that and appreciate that. Yeah. So where do you see your business in the next couple of years? What do you want to do? Ikonique. What's next for Ikonique?
Iconic for me, I want it to become something that's not just local. I want to reach the international bodies, being probably won by the celebrities even. And for me, when I say celebrities, I don't mean the big names that are already out there like the Beyoncés and the Rihannas. Maybe people who are starting up just like me, so it's like a brand representing a brand.
Yes.
But I want to be international. I want it to be something where once you see the piece, you say that's iconic.
Yeah. I
Yes.
think you will be international. Most times, sometimes we say something, but we don't believe it. And if you believe that you're going to be international, you will be international. Because even for me, when I started my business, I said I wanted to own my own business. I just couldn't get up and go to work for somebody 8 to 4, 9 to 5. I couldn't do it. I wanted to be the boss. And whilst we're being the boss, we're going to go into commercial. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm your host, Sharmark Leo, and Tiffany. Thank you for joining me. You have me biting my tongue whole now to that name. Tiffany, tell us, as we know, International Women Days coming and stuff like that. I mean, like, how can you inspire a young woman or woman that's thinking of doing a business or diving into the creative industry or just something creative, or they want to do something to help themselves? How can you encourage them?
Actually, for me, when it comes for something that you're passionate about, I'm someone who is spiritual to a sense, and I believe that if you have had the idea, if the Lord has put it on you, then it's something that you are destined to do. So don't doubt your capability, because sometimes we doubt ourselves and we become the next big thing. Nothing beats putting it out there.
I know. I like that. You
Yes.
doubt yourself and you become the next
Yeah.
big thing. You heard that, Alicia? Because sometimes we doubt ourselves.
Yeah.
People do that all the time. And even not even doubt, sometimes people look down at people, and the person you look down at is like a couple of years, a couple of months, you realize,
Yeah.
oh my God, this person made it. You know,
Yes.
sometimes, so you shouldn't doubt yourself and you should just follow your dreams. And I think most times when people get into business that they get afraid. Speaking about afraid, what is the most challenging thing for you since you've started your business in the last 3 years?
For me, as much as I do the marketing for other businesses, I find that my marketing for my business, I tend to put it on the back burner. I will not say that I've had many challenges, because for me, when you go into business, you have to have the faith that it will work out. If every sample that you put out, there's an opportunity for growth, because you can't have the same thing 10 years down the line. There is always a room for improvement. So I think for me is the fact that getting it out there. If people don't know about you, they can't buy from you. If people don't know about you, they cannot support you. So marketing for me is one of the main things that I would like to focus on, but it's something that I would say highly that it is necessary, no matter what industry that you're in. If they don't know you, they can't support you.
They can support you. I totally share the same sentiments, because sometimes you walk in the city of Castries and you just see a new business and they never did any advertising, anything at all.
Yep.
But however, they expect persons to come into the
Yep.
store. So I like that. In terms of your collection or seeing your stuff, how do people get you? Do you have a store, an outlet? How do persons get your products?
Well, for me, I am on Instagram mainly, as well as TikTok, but I do random pop-ups. So most of the events that they would have across the country, like the Independence Expo, Taiwanese show, and a few others, I try to take part in those because those are the times when I really get to interact with my customers. And those customers tend to be the ones that always come back, they follow through, they send other reviews. So I don't do a lot of pop-ups just to keep it as a, I would say, a niche brand. So you have to first come first serve. Whatever is posted is what's there.
So basically, you have a lot of returning customers.
Yes. So when I pop out, they know once I get it here, it's not going to be posted. It's not. It's here now or never.
So
type
is
of
it a situation that you put out a necklace and you have about, for argument's sake, maybe 200 persons calling for that necklace? Would you not repeat it?
I would repeat it, but everyone would come with a different something.
A
So I try
different
my
something.
best not to, even if it's within the same color scheme, I try to have a variety of it in the same color. So once that's gone, it's limited. These are the only 20 pieces in this, collect yours, and that's it. If it is a case where you would like to do a bigger order, I also accept that, but I try to always keep it as unique as possible. So even if it's repeated in terms of the design, the tone, the color might not be the exact thing. So I try to change up the beads or the type of bead to make it more unique for that person.
Is it a situation where when the product is one of a kind, you find you get more of a demand for it, or it attract more persons?
To an extent, yes, because when I post certain things, I post it very strategically. So it's like, hey, I posted this. Is it still available? No, but you can get something similar. I also do a lot of customization when it comes to adding names. So that way it could be the same bracelet, but now you have your name added to it. So now it's really and truly uniquely yours, just yours.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's, yes.
Okay, interesting. So do you do jewelry for kids also? Is
Yes.
it a whole unisex business?
I do for kids, I do adults, everyone in between. If you need accessory, maybe even for your dog to put around your knee, a little name tag or something,
Okay,
that can
nice.
also be done as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So where do you get your inspiration for when you're creating your pieces? How do you get your inspiration? Do you go to the beach, music? How does the inspiration come? Because bear in mind your name of the brand. I mean, like, you want to make sure that you always do stuff that live within the name of the brand. How do you get your
Yes.
inspiration?
So for me, once my preparation more is, I like to listen to a lot of music. If I'm not listening to a music, I'm probably doing a new series or an old series. That's something that always drives the motivation. So it leaves me focused. I do a lot of research in terms of, I would use Pinterest and YouTube and TikTok for inspiration, but I like to see, okay, how can I put my spin on this? What can I make this more unique to the business? Because again, I believe that there's no design that is uniquely yours. Someone before has already done it. Is how can you put you into that design to
Yes.
make it
Believe you.
yours?
Yeah,
Really?
because even sometimes when I go on YouTube, there's some songs. Three persons have sung it before, but maybe the last person gave it a
Did-
different twist, and then it
Yes.
was just a hit. The last person really gave it a different flavor, different vibe, and then that song
Yes.
was just, the rest was history.
Yes.
Wonderful. In terms of support and creating a foundation for your business, did you get any help from any financial institution?
Well, for me, I did receive help. Initially, when I started, I was fully self-funded, so I had that capability. Unlike most businesses, I was able to say, "Hey, I want to do this." I was working a 9 to 5 at that time, and like, okay, let's invest in it. And then I did apply for the grant with the youth economy. I was successful,
How was that?
and I've gotten everything that I've asked for. There have been assistance, even with the courses that they offer. I've always taken up the opportunity to be more educated, because
So-
your education never leaves you
Never leaves you.
realistically.
So in terms of the youth economy, is it something that you can recommend for younger people since it started?
Oh, definitely. I have recommended everybody that I could have. I think
Yeah.
at this point, I should receive a reward, because I'm like, hey, you should probably get the grant because it helps. Well, especially if you don't know where to go, it gives you some foundation as to, okay, I have something to start off with.
So does the agency, the Youth Economy, do they follow up to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do to be a successful business person? Do they have anybody like somebody's following up?
Well, when it comes to the follow-up, for me, I've already had that much of a relationship with them, so I have received the follow-up. It is always there through emails and even the recommendation for their courses.
And in that note, we are going to follow up. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm your host, Sharmark Leo, and thank you for viewing the Sharmark Show. Tiffany, yes. I got it right. Tiffany, as a business person, I don't like saying small business. Even for me, when I started, I don't like people to call my business small business. As a business person, how important it is to keep records, because I find most times we have business persons that just started and they don't keep records. Sometimes they just figure the business made good money these 6 months and they start living lavishly and stuff like that. What can you tell? What is your technique to your business you can tell to encourage another young person that maybe started or thinking of starting a business in terms of managing the funds of the business?
For sure, when it comes to the financial, that is the most important. When I first started, I was one of those, I was like, the money coming in, let's play. But then when you really want the longevity of the business, you need to document everything. It could be you need to document everything. You spend 10 cents, you have to document the 10 cents towards the business, because when the banks ask you for where's your cash flow, you're like, I don't know. Now you have to think of, what did I do yesterday? What did I buy for the business yesterday? You have to go months. You've been in business for 10 years and you don't even have a year's worth of financial. So that was something also with the Youth Economy that I also did the mentorship program with them. And that was something that my mentor stressed. No matter what it is, it could be 5 cents you make for the day, you put it down. Because that 5 cents could be the 5 cents you're missing for the bank to say, okay, we're going to give you the loan. Okay, we're going to...
And it's important because the bank, what a lot of people don't understand, when the bank asks you for a bank statement, they don't want to know how much money you have in the bank. They want to see the activity on that account. How much has been coming in, how much we have been spending. They want to see that you're a responsible person. So that's why they need to see your history of your business. And if you don't have an account when you started, I think you can get a notebook and put your income and your outgoing expense. So it's very important.
So I wouldn't even say because even the credit union now, they would require that information. But once you're able to pass the money through an account so that there's documentation. Because you could write all the years, but then that's it. Once they can actually, because they need to see that the money has been flowing through the account.
Is your business your brand register?
Yes, it is.
Congratulations, that's yours. Because sometimes you don't register it and somebody can just take the name and you're like, oh my God, that can just save you. Because you work so hard on putting the name together, and however somebody else maybe came up with the same idea and they take the color. But the colors, how did you come up with the colors? The colors are really nice, the black. I don't know if it's purple or gold.
So it's pink and gold or brown. My colors, it stems from the original brand that I had, the Coco Rosé. So the pink and the brown.
Coco Rosé, it has a nice ring, but it sounds like an alcohol brand.
Right. So my favorite alcohol is rosé wine. So that's kind of where that comes. So chocolate and wine. So originally, the plan for the business was to just be more on the intimate part of things. But I'm like, hey, I'm not one to do all of these fancy, lovey-dovey things. I'm like, let's see how we can make the brand more for everybody, because most times they don't have things for kids. It's mostly adult gifting. So I wanted to incorporate the little ones, because again, I am a mom, so and I'm an aunt extensively. So I want that to be something that...
So if somebody wants a matching set of his and hers, like Valentine's just passed, did you do matching jewelry and stuff like that?
I have done that.
Okay, nice.
Yes, I've done his and hers. I've done best friends. I've done multiples with their unique colors, their specifications. So I like... That's one thing. Once you can incorporate it in more than one ways, because the more love you can give around, the more customization, because we may not always be together, but sometimes someone might say, hey, where do you get that from? So that's business. And I like a lot of word of mouth business, because if I'm not wearing the brand, if they're not wearing the brand, again, the brand does not exist.
Yeah.
So
So how do you balance off being a mom, being a business owner, a graphic artist? I hope that child not suffering in the process. How do you balance off all of that? Because it sounds like you're very busy.
Yes.
How do you do that?
well, it's very balanced for me. I would say that my time management, sometimes it lacks, but I know between the hours of 9 to 2:30, that's school
So it's
time.
not a situation where you forget your son or your daughter at the daycare?
Never,
Okay,
never,
all right.
never. Always, I know between 9 and 2:30, you get that locked in. During the
Nice.
day, I have the time to do everything else. When I go home, I can work from my phone. So that's one thing I like about the businesses that I have. I can always work from my phone.
And I
So
think
I'm
that's
always
one thing as a
available.
business person is to learn how to balance off your time, because sometimes we're very bad on balancing. You're late for a
Yes.
meeting, you're late on a delivery. So balancing of your time will enhance your brand, will enhance you as a business owner. So I think it's a really good thing.
Yes.
Wow. So we're getting ready to wrap up. What would be your final words to encourage anybody that's looking in terms of getting your brand? How can you encourage them to get your brand? I encourage a young person. So the platform is yours, man.
So for the brand, you could always reach out on Instagram, on WhatsApp. The number for that WhatsApp is 720-3419. And the Instagram handle, it will be displayed on the screen so you guys can get that information. In regards to starting the business, my best advice is just start. Just start. Nothing beats, because if you don't start, it's another opportunity where you've lost. Sometimes somebody might have the same idea and you're the one who started it all. So let someone take inspiration for you rather than always being inspired. That's what I would say.
I like that. That's the strong words. You copy that from somebody, or that's your?
No,
I
that
like
just
that.
came to that just popped
It just
up.
popped. Okay,
Yeah.
it's happening. It's nice. Well, Sanisha, as we know, it's International Women's Day. So I think it was nice interviewing you. So I think it's very
you.
inspiring for women to get out there and do stuff and be independent, because I think most times, sometimes as women, and even men too, they deny themselves from opportunities. And as you say, if you think it, you do it. And it's okay to fail, because if you fail, you stand up, you dust yourself, and you try again. Or maybe sometimes you just maybe miss something, so you go back to the drawing board. And if you go back to the drawing board, you would see what you miss.
Yep.
And then you just continue, because sometimes I've done stuff. I had a bar, it did not work, you close it, you move on, you try stuff, because in life we don't want to just sit there like a couch potato. You want to try things, and I think that's the beauty as a young person, is to try things and don't think that you can depend on persons.
Sure.
So here's why I'm going to take the opportunity to say thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Ikonique, yes.
Yes.
So next time you come in, my girl, I hope I get a little gift from Ikonique, because I love that brand.
problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sanisha, go search Ikonique on Instagram and support the young lady. It's very important, I would know if you're a supporter. So when you type Ikonique on Instagram, make sure you type my name, SHAR, so I would know. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
you,
you.
Sanisha. Thank you for viewing. Happy International Women's Day. It's important.
Wardrobe sponsored by Charmaine Freeman Designs.